Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. As you can see, a map is out because we're attempting a playthrough of Crowbar, the Rangers at Pointe du Hoc, June the 6th, 1944. A solitaire game by Hermann Luttmann and published by Flying Pig Games. So, let's get it set up. Here's the top part of the map, and because the map goes from top to bottom, for me it's going to be one of the most challenging games to video with my setup at home. Anyway, first thing I like to do is set up the Germans, beginning with these possible gun location markers, which we put in a cup, and we're going to place them wherever we see a white star. 1 star means we'll place 1, 2 we'll have a couple, and up the top there we've got 2 spaces with 3 stars. So we give them a good mix up and making sure we place it face down, we put them on the board. There we go. Next, while we're here, we'll put the command bunker in its space, and then we take the 14 HKA regiment counters, and here you can see their SP value, their strength point value. We put those in a cup as well, and we place those on the map as per the rules. On BGG for this game there is a Crowbar errata and clarifications file which you can print off. And this tells you exactly where to put these HKA regiment units. There are 14 and we're only going to use 13, so we have 1 left over. Let's do that. And we place them full strength side up. There we go. And as I say, 1 left over which you put back in the box. Next we put the 8 machine gun counters in the pot and put those on the machine gun spaces. And these have got 2 numbers. This is the SP they use when they're doing their sort of open fire, which we'll look at later, believe me. And this one is their close combat value. There we are. We have 3 left over which we put to one side because we may use those when we place grenadiers and the like. Last thing to place is the flat gun, again with 2 numbers, 1 for open fire and 1 for close combat. Okay, let's get the Rangers sorted. So down here on the sea and beach area of the map, you can see the landing craft. And the information on those will tell you where to place the landing craft. So I'll pop them there for a second. Ones that say support will go here. And we'll do the rest. The 2nd Ranger Battalion is split into 3 companies, Fox, Dog and Easy companies, and the landing craft will be transporting specific companies. So here, for Fox, we have 4 landing craft. Under the support landing craft will be transporting 6 SP of Rangers, and each one is designated to its company, plus supplies. Non-support landing craft will transport 10 SP's worth of Rangers, And each company has a commander. So for Fox Company, we've got Captain Masny here. And he is being transported by this landing craft. There we are. There's loads of counters left over, and you're going to need those as the Ranger counters that are assaulting Pointe du Hoc get reduced. We'll be using these to signify their strength. So for Dog Company, we'll do the same. And this time we've got Captain Slater as the company commander. And for Easy Company, we've got Captain Bow. And Easy Company will also be transporting the battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Rudder. So as before, 6 SPs of Rangers under the support with the supply counter and 10 under the rest. And you place the commanders where it tells you. There we go. So 10's under here, 6 is under the support with their commanders, and we place the landing craft on the top. Next we set the event card deck up. We give it a shuffle. There we go. And every time we get through this deck we have to shuffle it and then discard the top card face down. We'll put it there. Then we've got the dice. These dice are sort of the engine that drives the movement and everything else. And we've got a green one, as you can see, yellow, red and black. Green die, they say, is the safe one. Yellow is normal, red is risky and black is dangerous. They're all dodgy if you ask me. And we'll see how they work in a moment. Next, there are a ton of these sort of chits that you have to sort out. One side is the German event and the yellow side is the Rangers event. As I say, a load of those, and you put them in a pot, or in my case in a bag, and keep them handy. And the other thing you need to sort out into a pot are these incoming fire counters. On the front we've got a -1 strength point, which is given to the Germans, and on the other side you've got lots of different things: hits, misses, critical hits, pinned, and all that sort of thing. And we'll see how those work again in a moment. Also with the game, of course, come sort of normal D6 dice. I won't be using them, not because they're no good, they're great, but they get stuck in my dice tower because they're sort of square edges. So I'll just be using sort of normal grey and green dice. So in case you're wondering, that's the reason. And the last thing is just to set up the track sheet. Here's the sort of record track sheet. And this is my only gripe with the game. It's thin paper. I would have preferred it to be card, but there must be reasons for that. And as I say, it's a very small little thing. The game is played over 3 days, June the 6th to the 8th, and we keep a record of that with the little day counter there. And each day is split into 18 increments. Of course, when we get to the end, we move this down. The last 6, as you can see, signify that it's night time. And to keep a record of that, we pop that there. Here's the relief column track, and we're trying to get to the end here, and if we do, we win the game. The relief column has turned up and sent the Germans packing, so we keep a record of that there. And here is the German counterattack track. Every time the counter gets to the end, a German counterattack is initiated, and there are 4 of them. So we keep a record of that. I don't know if you can see that. It's got first on the top there in red. And when we've done that one, we put the second counter-attack counter at the start again. And that's grenadiers and machine guns and things. Over here we've got the victory point track, and we keep a record of those with 2 counters, one for ×1 and one for ×10. Any German forces that are eliminated are taken prisoner of war, if you like. If we remove them when they were full strength, they go here, and there were 3 victory points. If they were reduced before we got rid of them, it's only 1 victory point. Any roadblocks that we do, and we'll have a look at that back on the map, is worth 10 victory points per roadblock. Timely relief and no units lost at the end of the game. Right, I think we're ready to start. Okay, before we start, I'm making sure I've got the player aids handy. And there's one for the German and Ranger events. Also, I found this on Board Game Geek, which is a sort of summary of all the things you can do in each zone, which I find quite handy. So that's there for you to download if you wish. On the board there are different zones. We've got the sea zone, the beach, the cliff zone, the cliff tops, and sort of inland. And the Rangers have got to work their way across the sea zone onto the beach, scramble up the cliff if they can, deal with all the Germans, find the hidden gun counters, maybe try and get a roadblock. I'm not sure if you can see here, there's the road. We could set up roadblocks there. That will give us extra victory points. So to give us a helping hand at the start of the game, we're going to initiate Operation Flash Lamp. And basically what we're trying to do here is maybe destroy some Germans along the front here, and to try and damage the cliff face so it's easier for the Rangers to get up there. And to do that, we're going to use these incoming fire markers. How many do we use? Well, we throw a d6 and add 10 to it. So let's see. 3. So we get 13 of these. So we give them a mix up. We're going to draw 13 face down. There we are. Now we can place those on any German counters we wish, but what I tend to do, and again, it's up to you, is we need to try and make the cliff easier to climb. And also, once we get up the top of the cliff, if we're here, for instance, we've got to deal straight away with this German unit, and we are at a disadvantage, because if you can imagine, you're clambering up the cliff and you're lifting yourself up and then a machine gun fires at you. So we need to try and clear as much of those as we can. Also, this command bunker here causes the German counterattack to happen a little bit faster. So if we can take that out, that'll be good as well. So what I tend to do is to put these incoming fire counters on the front row, and you can put a maximum of 2 per space. And then if there's any left, I'll plop them wherever. So I'll put one there, one there, one there. Excuse me. And again, we'll put a double up on here and here, working our way down. As I say, this is how I like to do it. Put a couple on each of the ones in the front. We've got one left, and we'll pop that there. Okay. Now for each cliff top space, which as I say is this row here, we can reveal one of those incoming fire markers and see what happens. You can only turn over one, so why did I place two on there? Well, my thinking is as we come up and close combat these units, we can reveal the other one. We may get a hit or something like that. So that's why I do that. So we can reveal the incoming fire on the cliff top row. So here we go. What we got? Miss. No good at all. That goes back in the pot. Next one. Pin. So those Germans there are pinned. So we put a pinned marker on them. Let's just pop that there. This one. Oh, 2 hits. So that German unit is going to get 2 hits. And if you can see here, there's a little asterisk, which means it's a critical hit. And we've destroyed the cliff face in front of that German unit, which will make it much easier for the Rangers in that column to get up there. And we're going to place one of these here to remind us. And this now gets 2 hits. The first hit will reduce it, so we turn it over. And the second hit eliminates it. Unfortunately, I don't think we get any victory points for that because they were blown up with bombs rather than close combat. So that being a machine gun is going to go back in the pot with the rest of them to possibly be drawn later on. We can get rid of that as well. That goes back in its pot along with that one. So that was a good result. Next. 1 hit, and it's a critical hit. So once again, a firm counter is put there, and this unit, another machine gun, gets reduced. This one. 1 hit, but no critical hit, so that just gets reduced. And lastly, this one, want a good hit here. No! Miss! Dagnammit. And that is Operation Flash Lamp, the initial bombardment of the German defences. Now we go into something called the pre-game invasion approach. This is only done the once, and it's different to the rest of the sort of turns, the way you conduct them. And what we are going to do is to roll these 4 dice, and then we're going to assign one of those to each of the 4 landing craft in each of the companies. Doesn't matter which order you do them in. So we'll start from left to right. So we're going to take these 4 dice. Let's hope they don't get stuck in my dice tower. Let's move that across a little bit. No, I'll leave it there. I'll bring them across. Right, here we go. So what we got, let me bring those over here. Oh dear, this doesn't look good at all. So what does that mean? Well, this one is a shaken, this is a rout, this is a stop, which means you stop everything and it's the next unit's turn, and this is a move 1 with a little square there. But in this phase, in this pre-game invasion approach, they mean something a little different to normal. And it's all here. So, this advanced 1 in the pre-game invasion means that one of these units can move 3 spaces. This is a stop activation, and that means it can only move 1. The shaken is 1, and that Ranger unit in the landing craft is given a shaken marker, and the rout is no move and is given a shaken marker. This doesn't start well. We've got our supplies there. We've got our commander there, so I think we'll use that one there. We'll use that one there. We'll have that there and this one here. So that's going to move 3 spaces. We're not on the beach yet, oops, so we can't do anything. So that one's done. The stop activation is 1 C space. That's you done. Route, no move, and given a shaken counter. And that's one of those. As I say, I hope I'm going to be playing this right. Videoing and playing a game is hard, so let me know. That's you done. And this one is shaken, but it can move 1 space. And another shaken marker there. So that's done for that company. Now we do it for the other 2. Let's see if we can get on the beach at least. Oh, does that look a bit better? Let's bring those over. What we got? We got a star and a move. We've got a clock. We've got that running away man again, that's route. And another one with a starburst. So this is the move one, but this little star here, if it's filled in like those, that normally means 1 hit. If it was a sort of unfilled open starburst, that's a variable hit. You'll see all that later on. But for now, that tells us that's a single hit. They're going to move, but the ranges are going to be reduced by 1. So what we're doing, this has got the commander, got a pinned German up there. So if we got firm there, look. So if we put, that's the support unit. This is the great thing about these type of games. You're scratching your head which dice to use for which unit. So your decisions will be completely different. Okay, let's bring... See, these have only got 6 strength. All right, let's bring these up. That's got our commander in it for Dog Company. And we'll bring that one up. That one up, I think. I know that's a firm hold, but we'll pop that there and that there. So what does this mean? Well, as you know, this is the movement one. It's got 1 little square, which means one advance. So we can move 3 with that, but we do what it says from left to right. So the first thing we have to do is do the hit. So as I said, that's a filled in hit, so that's 1. So we reduce that to 9, and then if it gets reduced again, we'll use that pile of sort of reserve counters for the company. But it can move 3, so it's up here. That's done. This one, routing, no move but given a shaken marker. There we are. This one, this normally means draw an event card, but in this pre-game invasion approach phase, no cards are drawn, or indeed any of those event chips we put in the bag, but it's only for this phase. The clock in this case means move 2 spaces forward, so there we go, that was painless. This one is going to take a hit, down to 9, and then move 3. There we are, that's them done. Easy company. Oh, what we got here? So this one we've seen, it's an advanced 1 which will move one of these 3 spaces, but will incur a wound. This is an open starburst, so that's a variable hit, and for this phase is going to reduce the ranges by 2, but It's an advance 2, which means we can move 3 spaces and then get on the beach. This one is advance 1, which means 3 spaces for this phase. And the little r, under normal circumstances, would mean we would draw one of our little chits in here for the Rangers, the yellow ones. But we don't do anything during this phase. And this is the good old shaken. Right, okay, here's Rudder. So we might need to get him going. So we'll put that there, I think. We'll have that one there. No, I think we'll put that one there. Or should we? No. We'll put that there, there, and there. I don't know what I'm doing. Right. This one, advance 3. Shaken, but can move 1. Maybe that was the wrong thing to do. No, you know what? Nobody saw. I'm going to change those around because that's got rudder on it, I just realised. So we'll do that, but because it's a filled in star, this gets reduced to 5. And now we can move 3. This one gets shaken. And moves a space. This one has a variable, so unfortunately it's going to get... Oh, where's me... hold on. I've got a clue what happened there. I've got to put one of those on. Oh no, there it is. No, there it is. Right. So that one is going to lose 2. So that's 1 to 9. And now we've got to find the 8 to replace it. But it can move 3 spaces and land on the beach, which is what we're going to do. 3, beach. Now it's on the beach, the landing craft can try something called a J projector launch. These were sort of like grappling hooks fired from the landing craft, but weren't very successful. And we're going to throw 2 D6, and we're going to look on here and see if we are successful. It's quite unlikely because a 2 to an 8 will be a no hold. Here we go. 8. No good. And because we're on the beach and the landing craft has done its job, we can take it off. There we go. And I've just realised something I haven't put out, but it's not too important because they're not needed at the moment. But I'll put them out now, are these. Each one gets one of these. And these will become important later. I was yammering away there and my phone ran out of memory as I was explaining to you the importance of the rally point activated markers. I've put them all out, as you can see, and they will become important during the rest of the game, and we'll explain those as we go along. So that's the pre-game invasion approach done, and the idea of that, I suspect, is to give the boys a bit of a push to see if they can get onto the beach and start their assault. Okay, I think that's a convenient place to stop the video. I don't want them to be too long, but in the next one we'll be trying to get the Rangers onto the beach and then hopefully up the cliff face there, and we'll be explaining what these mean and the other type of hold that's available, the shaky, and unfortunately these dice will then come into their own. So, hope you enjoyed that sort of setup and the first phase of the game. If you have, it would be great, if you haven't done so already, to consider subscribing to the channel. It does really help. push the like button of the actual video, the thumbs up, that helps as well. And the bell if you want to be informed of other videos that I upload. Leave a comment, share, all that sort of nonsense. It's all good for the channel. Thanks as always to my subscribers. And one last thing to mention, if you want to support the channel a little bit further, you can by buying the channel a coffee. Doesn't cost much, and all those coffees go towards new content for the channel to upload. So there we are, this has been part 1 of a playthrough of Crowbar. The Rangers at Pointe du Hoc, 6th of June 1944. So, until next time, as always, you take care and goodbye.